and welcome to this week's YouTube vlog from Barton Auto Services, and I hope we're all okay. Thanks to everyone that subscribed and who commented last week. It's absolutely great. Like I say, every week, without you we wouldn't do it. And yeah, to be honest, it was a bit of a hard subject last week, boxes and sales. That's quite intense. So yeah, sorry if some of you got a bit bored out there, but it was designed for people that had purely asked about them. I wanted to know the tech spec of them and stuff like that. Anyway, let's go a bit more light-hearted. Moving on to this week, we're going to go a Grant Combi boiler. We're going to be doing an installation of one. Yes, I know I've done one before, but it was a very basic overview of one, etc. We was just taking a Worcester out and putting a Grant in, essentially. But this time we're taking a leaking Grant internal combi boiler out, which has given us nothing but trouble for the last 2 years. And we're going to be putting an external 21 kilowatt Grant combi boiler in. Hopefully just the other side of the wall, but I did have a conversation with the landlord last night who was saying it might need to go on the end of the building, so that might cause us a few more issues, to be honest with you. So that's what we're going to be doing. The idea is today we will get it up and running. Should be quite straightforward, should get done in good time, and then obviously tomorrow I'll go back and power flush it, which unfortunately you won't see on the vlog because it'll be being edited tomorrow, so I might cover that on a vlog another day, because I was going to do one especially for power flushes anyway. So got my coffee, let's crack on with it. It's 7:15 in the morning. I'm off to get the boiler, and it's a bit further than normal, so I need to get driving. So let's go on with this week's YouTube vlog. Here is the old Grant Combi boiler here, and it's had loads of trouble with it. We've had leaks everywhere. We've been back here every week, and the customers decided it's better to actually get rid of it because it's an old one. Also, there's toilets and sinks around. It's just not the best place to be, and the flue's been leaking as well. So it's going to go from here, where it is now, in here, and we're going to come around here. And it's going to be an absolute pain because originally they wanted it the other side of the wall here, but now they want it here. So the problem I have is I can't run the pipe work along here because one, it looked hideous, and number two, it's on pebble dash, so it's going to be a nightmare. So we're going to have to try and run it on the inside. The other issue we have is a Grant Combi 21 external going in. They're 200 kilo, we've got to get it down there. Okay, there's no way through the house to the front because of it's such a small house from the point of view of rooms, and it's quite old, so the doors are quite thin. So we're going to have to come this way, and then somehow we're going to have to fish it down there. Okay, which is nowhere near where the house is because all our vans are at the front, so that's what we'll be doing. So yeah, I'll be back soon when we're stripping it down. Say good morning, Ryan.
Good morning.
Because it's Ryan that's with me today doing this. We're now taking the shelving down at the moment first, and then just here on the Combi you've got one drain point here, and there's one behind here when we get the burner out. I've isolated the oil line, and obviously I've isolated up there. It had like an old FP timer on here which we're not going to use anymore, so we're just going to strip a bit more out and we'll be back. So we isolated the water. We spent about 20 minutes looking around the house, and of all the places it's in the corner in the room we're in, but there you go, I think that's weeping as well. So a good tip here, when you're draining, as you can see I'm doing it there, don't take the assumption, obviously the system will hold on vacuum, so that's good, so we don't have to drain the whole system. However, you've got to think that the boiler will also hold on vacuum, so don't get caught out by that. So I've got the drain hoses on. I'm just here because there was an old fin in it. I've undone it to create the air to go in, so now it's fully draining. Because as I say, if you don't do that, you'll end up trying to move a very, very heavy boiler, and as they're already 200 kilo, you don't want any water in it as well. So that's where we're at there. We're then going to join the pipes there. As you can see, I've marked them: flow, return, and hot water. We're going to run down, round, and then hopefully around under the sink, round and through the wall. I was going to go outside originally, as I said, into the boiler here, but they're moving it, and obviously you can't fix to this because it look absolutely horrific anyway. So the aim is when we come around here, we're just going to pop through low, then we should be able to come up behind the boiler and in the back of the boiler somehow. That would be the idea, and it'll make it much, much better. And yeah, neat and tidy, because the less pipe outside the better, as we all know, because of freezing and stuff like that. So yeah, let me get the boiler out then. It's a little update and a lesson from Mr. Butler is that when you drain the boiler and then you open the return pipe up there, you go, yeah, it's all clear. Don't cut the flow, okay? I stupidly forgot myself, and as you can see, we've got a bit of water. And the reason being is, just remember everyone, that flow pipe has a non-return valve. So the non-return valve was stopping the boiler from draining. Okay, so just remember, another tip of the day, don't cut the pipe because you get wet. Luckily for me, I had my friend Mr. Speedfit. Okay, so yeah, there's today's lesson from me. So the old boiler's out. As you can see by here, there was quite a lot of leaks, even on joints and stuff like that. The key about getting the boiler out in the house when you can't get a sack barrow in as well is put it on a towel because it slips then. The trouble is it's left quite a mess behind, so mine's having a good clear up at the moment of in here, and then it's always a good idea to obviously get the old wet wipes and have a really good clear around because you can't just leave it looking a mess like that. So yeah, we're going to leave the Combi mate in because it's been requested, and then obviously we're hoping to run the pipes down here and then along and through the wall. But as you can see, we've got yeah, a bit of clearing up to do. The other thing as well I want to bring to your attention is, obviously we've taken the boiler out here and it is against this box section here. If you look here, joint, there's an oil joint just there. You could never see that. Just imagine if that had leaked, how long we'd have been looking for an oil smell on the boiler. Don't hide your joints, it sends you absolutely crazy. So I'm just going to inspect this pipe as well. It looks okay because it looks like it's been leaking on here, so we're just going to give that a clean and have a look. And for some random reason they put it on a ton dish as well, so we're just going to take that out as well. Try and give it a bit of a better clean because it's an absolute mess, and then we'll be running the pipes in and we'll be outside. So we've managed to get the new boiler in place. It's had to come down these steps. It was an absolute nightmare. It took us like 20 minutes. Okay, I've still got to level it up. We've dug down beside these slabs. It's actually on a 4-inch hardcore stroke render underneath, like concrete bed, so these tiles will be absolutely fine. We just need to level it up, as I've said. So what I've done, because of inside where the pipes are, we can't put them in high like normal, so I've just put a mark just here at the back of the boiler and a mark here, which is sort of space I've got inside the side casing. Then I'm just going to move it, drill some holes through the wall. There'll be 4 coming through the wall, and then we'll line them up on the casing. And on this occasion we're going to have to drill and seal around the casing, which is not something we normally do, to be honest, but on this occasion you just have to do it. We have no choice. We've left it away from the house slightly because that's a French drain down there, so obviously we can't go on there. There's your line come up there. Ryan will be neatening that up, as you can see there. Okay, he's just going to come up a bit here, and then there'll be obviously the filter isolation valve, fire valve, etc, into the boiler. On this one, it's a 90-degree fire valve. It's a Combi, it's outside. If you use anything less than that, it would just trip in the summer. It's as simple as that. The discharge is going to come out here. We've had to put the boiler here. We wanted to go back a bit further, but then it was too close to the window for the regulations, and it's just going to plume across there. I said to the customer that if it plumes too much, then we're happy to get a diverter flick and go up and out the wall there. And we've left ourselves plenty of space here so we can service the boiler. We couldn't spin the boiler the other way around because ideally they didn't want a plume diverter kit, and obviously you've got your 1 metre plumage, which is your reg. So yeah, it's 600 with 1 metre plumage, so clearly we didn't want to have it up there because it would have affected the next door neighbour as well. So I'm going to pull the boiler out of the way, try and get some holes through the wall, but so we're going to fall to pieces or be rock hard, probably fall to pieces, and then we'll get on with inside. Ryan at the moment is inside trying to clean the floor. He's not cleaning very well. When we come back tomorrow, we'll get something a bit more hardcore to try and clean it with. But yeah, it's going all right so far. It is, however, 1:45. Normally we're a lot further ahead, but I'll be honest, this one has been a bit of a struggle. So I've drilled my hose through the wall. The trouble is the wall's a foot and a bit deep, which is a nightmare. And as you can see here, I'm going to core them now, to be honest, because I need to put some inserts in there to insulate the pipe, so I can't leave the copper on that. So that hole was incorrect. That's too tight to the box. That's for the wire. That's going to be cold main out, then flow, return, hot main in from the boiler. That's how we're going to do it. The trouble is, like I said, this wall is like 1.5 foot thick, and it's full to the brim of big rocks. So even though it looks upright and straight here, if we go inside, you'll see my problem. Let's have a look. That's my problem inside. As you can see, some filler work to do, and I went through very carefully so they don't line up. It's not a lot I can really do about that. I can try and straighten them up, which I will, but it's just going to make more of a mess. It's just one of them. It's not just like a normal brick wall where you can just put them through lovely and neat and tidy. This one just wanders anywhere. And to be honest, if I tried to straighten them, I think it would end up going probably 2 inches to that way, 2 inches further that way. It's just an absolute nightmare. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to coil them open a little bit now so I can sleeve them properly. Ryan's managed to do a bit of a job on the floor. At the moment, we can't get any more off than that. But to be honest, I've done it in the past. I might use the old acid that set the power flusher and just put a bit on there and leave it, and that come up crystal clear probably. So yeah, we're just going to run some pipes along here now through the wall once I've coiled them, and then we can get them into the boiler. Yeah, this is being a pain, this one, real pain. It's 1:30 now, so I feel like we're running a bit behind, but there we go. I've had an attempt at bending around there, and we think it's quite funny because I've just done some random marks and it looks a bit weird, but I show you my madness. This is what I'm trying to do. So right, let's go. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get it up here. So I'm going to go up here, around here, and then we're going to fiddle it in, and it goes round onto that one. Okay, so there we go. So I'm going to put some clips in there. It means that it's going to step in front of these pipes. I'm going to do something with these probably because I think later on they might get in the way. So I'm going to sort them out later, and they want the outside tap in a different place, I think, anyway. So that's going to go like that. And then I'm going to put all the others through just the same. And yeah, we'll see how we get on. What do you think, Ryan? Score out of 10 for that?
I'll give you a 11 out of 10 for that.
I'll give myself a 12.
Yeah.
So my pipes come through the wall like so. 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. I've measured the distance. I've measured it on here. Thank you, Ryan. And obviously I've drilled the holes through the wall. So that is going to be cold main in, hot out, flow return there. If you see I've done them there, that's my original mark. Then I took the back off the boiler. I'd have driven into the water jacket, so that wouldn't have been ideal, would it? So there we go. They're all into the boiler now, nice and neat, and aesthetically it's correct because it's sort of laying parallel with the patio there and round. So I'm pleased with that. They are sleeved, them holes. It don't look like it from there, but it's because the bits of copper poked through the wall from the other side. But they'll be pushed in and sealed in properly shortly. Okay, so yeah, I've just now got to just work out what I'm going to do inside the boiler. Tops off the boiler, for people who aren't familiar with a Grant Combi. I know I've said it on previous vlogs, but obviously you might not have seen them. There's your hot water circulation pump down the bottom. Then obviously you've got your mixer, you've got your plate heat exchanger there. Obviously your burner, 24 litre vessel on these, which is pretty cool. Obviously you've got your circulating pump on the top here. Flow comes out of here for the heating system. There's your return, there's your hot tap out, and there's your mains in. And obviously don't forget to do your PRV. So that's where I'm at the moment. We're just going to pop into my pipes through, as I said. Hang on a sec. Right, let's see how Mr. Butler's getting on. Okay, so you can see he's got the pipes through here, running around behind there. And obviously now he's just done a nice bend line up there, and he's going to pick up the hot water there, and he's got to pick it up there also for the downstairs toilet, etc. And then he's going to pick the flow and returns up from there. And there we go. So I have got hot and colds done there, and obviously there is the flow there, and I've just got the returns put in. We have, however, hit a little issue inside. Ryan's trying to do inside, but we can't stop the water for some reason. So yeah, we've tried to solder onto there. We've just cut it off now, but it just kept dribbling. And obviously the pipe's full of water down there, and we keep trying to like suck it, but it keeps coming back. So we're going to have to resort to press for that. It's the only time we ever use it is when you get a dribble. Ryan is annoyed. Smile, Ryan. There you go. And I don't blame him because I feel just the same. But there we go. It's 4:30, 20 to 5. So yeah, it's not going great, but we're going to keep going and battle away. Okay, so I've got the mag in. As you can see, it's quite tight in there, but I can still get to it to obviously drain it if I want to, and I can still undo the magnet at the top. So it's all piped up. I've just got one last piece of copper here because I've got to obviously do the blow off, etc. We've got cold water in now, so it's going through the taps, which is good, but I've connected the flow and returns this side, but we're still having a bit of a struggle the other side. One's resorted to press because it's fed up with the pipe dribbling, and it's now like 20 to 6, so I don't blame him. Okay, so there we go, a bit of press work there. Okay, so he's just got to connect from there, the flow and returns down to there and through there. Are you happy, Ryan?
Nope.
No, he's not happy, so that's where we're at. Okay then, let's crack on. So I've done the pressure relief valve. I'll take it, and it goes down there, and it just pops just out the bottom there, because it's much better to pop there. So I'm going to bring your attention to the next thing I'm about to do, and that's this here. I'm going to knock out for the flue hole. Now it's sort of like a one outer case fits all really, which is a bit of a pain. So obviously the outer one would be for the bigger output boiler, 36 kilowatt, and that's for the inside one. It used to be that you had a plate that went over the top, and then obviously you'd put your grommet in and stuff like that. But Grant decided we're going to just try and knock that middle bit out because it's spot welded in, and hopefully leave that behind and then put the seal in there. So that's what I'm going to be attempting to do now. So a lot of people moan about these. I've got this out, and obviously I've put the seal in, but then people go to put like this bit and push it through and knock all the seal out. The trick is, I know people probably know this, but some people don't, take that seal off, then push it through, then put the seal on again in there, and then slide it in the flue, and then you don't have a problem. Simple as that. You can try putting a bit of grease around there, but I wouldn't, because it ends up all falling out and becoming a nightmare, because this is naturally greased anyway. So that's what I'm going to do. Voila, the flue is in. That needs to be level. It's not allowed to be like that. It's not allowed to be like that. It's got to be level, so I'll be spirit leveling it. I'll do that right at the end, probably when it's running, and then obviously I can put the cage on that fits there, and there is the wherever it is, just there, the cage. Well, because anything that discharges less than 2 meters in height, as we know, should have a terminal guard on it. And there we go. So I've cut the oil line now, because I'm doing the oil line because Ryan's still busy inside. The correct order: isolation valve, filter, far valve. Not like this. No isolation valve, far valve and filter. The reason being is because it needs to filter before the far valve, because even though it's a 10mm pipe going in, it's a minuscule little hole in there. Okay, so you need to get it in the right order, otherwise this will block as quick as anything. So I'm going to crack on. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to fix it yet because it's a bit of a dodgy wall, but yeah, I'll see how I get on. So we're on the wall. People have commented to me quite often in the past about why do I just screw it all together like that and don't put bits of pipe in between, because if you've got to change one component you've got to undo it all, blah blah blah. But in my world I just undo each end, take it apart and put it together again, because I think there's less joints like that. I think it's neater, I think it's more compact, and because you're using threads and not olives, I do think it's a lot better. Okay, obviously remember everyone, inserts, and remember you must herodite it and use tape, PTFE tape. However, don't over tighten the olive, do it until it's tight and give it a little nip, and don't do what I do quite often, and I try my hardest not to. When you put the PTFE on, you end up putting a bit over the hole in error, and then you don't get any oil through. I've got a good flow on this oil line as well, because I checked that earlier on, but me being me, forgot to video it. The filter was quite dirty, to be honest, so I've changed that. It's fixed to the wall. I'm now going to come down here, round in the bottom here, because there's a hole. The trouble is on a Combi, there's a lot there in the way, so you can't sort of come up and along. I prefer, if I spin round, to come through here, but I can't on this occasion. But what I do know is if I come very tight down here with the copper oil line, if I take the white shrouding off and then come up here, I can get underneath because there's plenty of gap under there. The other thing as well is I won't put an isolation valve in here like normal, because literally I've got one here, so it's pointless in having two so close together. So it gives me a bit more room with the flexible oil line when I'm putting it over there. All right, so yeah, I'm going to crack on and try and bend a bit of pipe in here. I've come down, round, in, up, in, round, that goes down there. The burner will come out because you can see there's plenty of gap there, and it goes to there. So on there I'm going to put the flexible nipple and fit in, and then the oil line. I'll flush it through and double check it, and that'll go on the burner. While we've got the burner out, we'll check the nozzle, etc. Make sure that we put the plate in the end of the flame ring to make sure it's set up correctly, etc, etc. And yeah, then I've just got to pop the fire valve in. That ends up going about, ooh, there. It sits on there, so obviously long enough for that, and we can go from there. Here's flexible nipple, okay, which is clearly going to go onto there, down there. Just a heads up for everyone, we see a lot of people that when they put the flexible oil line on here, they use PTFE on the thread. There's absolutely no need. The reason being is that bit there, get my finger on there, there is where the contact point is with the flexible oil line. So there's no need to put anything on there at all because it was just self-seal. Okay, so just a heads up there. So I'm just going to stick that on there. I forgot to put gloves on, which is amazing. So I'm going to go and clean my hands in a minute. And yeah, crack on. So we've jumped a bit, it's running. Okay, so the water went in okay, we had no leaks. It's all wired as you can see there. We've had to rush along a little bit because obviously it's getting dark now, and yeah, we've still got like all the rubbish to sort out, and we've got a hell of a clear up to do. As you can hear, Ryan's still going on inside a little bit. So we need a really good clear up now. So hello Ryan, you're still smiling? Yeah, we're still smiling. It is just gone 8 o'clock. Yeah, so there we go, pipe work around there, up there, through there, down there, up there. Well pleased with that. Mine's just putting the blank plate to the wall and that for the wires. Then we're going to put some nice trunking in, etc. and stuff like that. Okay, so that's inside done there. The EPH stats here, which is all done and going. And yeah, as we say, a lot of clearing up to do. So yeah, getting dark everyone, need to crack on. Okay, so it's 9:30. It's running. We had a bit of an airlock, which is a bit of a nightmare. We'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, it's been one of them days. We put some cleanser in the system as well, so that'll be wazzing around overnight. But yeah, they've got heat and hot water, so they're happy. Ryan's still happy, Ryan? Sort of still happy.
I lost the wheel.
Yeah, we've lost the wheel, so there you go. So we're on our way out, and as I say, back to the van. Okay, so that is done. That was a long one, that. Yeah, I've sort of been out and about since 6:15 this morning, but we really had to get that one done, up and running. The guy isn't very well. We didn't know that till we got there. He's got pneumonia at the moment and he's not well at all, so it become much more imperative to actually crack on and actually just get the boiler up and running again. And as I said earlier in the vlog, you know, the problem we had was it changed location. We met with the landlord and it ended up having to go somewhere else. So yeah, that's what sort of slowed us up a lot. For you very bright-eyed people out there, you'll notice the Combi mate never went back in, and that's because I'll be totally honest with you, when we took it apart it was cracked. So we decided we wasn't going to put it back on again, so I've got to get a scale reducer and put in, which will be tomorrow. And also the mains pressure there is good. I would say it's too high, but it's on the verge of being a bit high for the boiler. So I'm going to put a pressure reducing valve in as well tomorrow. So as I said a bit earlier, we've left the cleanser in. That'll rattle around tonight, start making all the debris in the system move around, etc. And I'll be back tomorrow to power flush it, do my pH tests and all that on the system, and commission the boiler. So we'll take it. Yeah, tough one. Ryan, my oldest son, he's worked his absolute nuts off today. He really has. He's dead on his feet, bless him. Dead proud of him. Also proud of my other son as well, because he's had to do all the breakdowns as well as servicing today. So I don't think he got home till about 9:15 himself. You know, so yeah, big one from both of them. So I don't tell him enough, Wally, but I'm really proud of them. Absolutely mega proud of them. They've worked their little socks off today, bless them. So it's 20:10. Got to get rid of the trailer now, and then I'm on my way home. I'm not going to be home till about 10:30, but it is what it is. Sometimes you have to do these things because at the end of the day, the customer's more important. And there's other things as well you need to remember. It's not just about throwing a boiler in and leaving. You've got to clear up. We had to clear up a lot there, make it neat and tidy, and that includes really silly things. We always wipe the door handles on the way out because we've been touching them all day, and even though we like to think we're clean, we've probably got very, very grubby hands. So obviously we needed to get that sorted out as well. Please feel free to comment, and if you haven't subscribed, please do, because we love people that subscribe. New people is great. And as always, have an absolutely fantastic weekend. So until next week, that won't be me because I'm skiving again. I'm on holiday finishing my little home project. Hopefully it'll be the boys again. Never know, they might find another Arga somewhere like last time, who knows. Anyway, have a great weekend, as I said. Until next time, stay safe.